Bangor. From the Great North Woods to the Rockbound Coast and streaming live in HD worldwide at foxbangor.com. More people choose Good Morning Maine.
Hello, everyone. Today on Good Morning Maine, a man is dead after falling from a bucket truck in western Maine.
Plus, lawmakers propose legislation that would strengthen abortion protections in Maine.
And they're also trying to fill a Rockland theater with food donations to help those who are struggling.
Good morning and welcome to Good Morning Maine. I'm Emma Smith.
And I'm Craig Colson. Thank you for joining us today. We're going to kick things off with a check of our forecast. Looks like kind of a quiet day ahead today. Some clouds in the sky, but things will be pretty warm out there today, which might actually make some melting, some badly needed melting happening.
Definitely. You want that snow to come off the roof.
Yeah.
Here's Devin Biggs.
And thank you very much, Craig and Emma. Happy Wednesday. Your first weather forecast brought to you by Boosted Auto and Diesel. For all your automotive, heavy truck, and equipment needs, call Ronnie at 207-659-9458. All right, let's get things rolling out there this morning. Maybe a few snow showers falling for a few of you this morning. Nothing to get too worried about, though. Anything that does fall will not really accumulate to much of anything, so you'll just notice the snow flying around, and that'll be about it. We might notice a little bit more further off towards the north and the northern ends of the state, but that'll be about all. Here's the big picture. Low pressure is tracking out towards sea now. This is kind of the back edge of that area of low pressure now. So we'll be watching this today, but this will begin to clear up later on tonight as the sky becomes mostly clear. So futurecast for today, there's some snow in the northern ends of the state we'll have to watch out for, but otherwise becoming mostly clear later on tonight. So we'll start getting the clouds out of here pretty quickly. As for the winds, not a huge deal at the moment, mainly at around 5 to 10 miles per hour, but really increasing later on tonight and in the daytime tomorrow briefly. But notice by Thursday afternoon, the winds will start to back off. Your forecast for today, 40 degrees, mostly cloudy, a few snow showers, no accumulations to worry about. That west wind at about 5 to 10 miles per hour. Later on tonight, 23 degrees, becoming mostly clear. The northwest wind getting up to about 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tomorrow, 34 degrees, becoming partly cloudy. Northwest wind 5 to 10 miles per hour. Hourly forecast for the rest of the morning and afternoon period. Overall, mostly cloudy, temperatures in the 30s and 40s. Your full 5-day forecast is coming up. Craig and Emma.
Thank you, Devin. A man was killed Tuesday after falling from a bucket truck in Rangeley. State police say the unidentified man was part of a team working for Consolidated Communications. It was just before 11 Tuesday morning when the bucket truck moved ahead on Route 4 while the man was in the bucket above the roadway. The bucket struck some utility wires that were stretched across the road, which caused the man to fall. He was pronounced dead at the scene, and the state police and the Maine Department of Labor are now investigating the deadly accident. The name of the worker is being withheld until his family is notified. The truck was driven by a 31-year-old man from New York.
A Massachusetts man has been sentenced to 13 years in jail following a shooting that took place in Machias last year. Our Matthew Juronsik has that story.
Nathaniel Janeo of New Bedford, Massachusetts, pleaded guilty to murder and robbery Tuesday in connection to a drug-related gang shooting in Machias in 2021. A judge sentenced Janeo to 22 years in prison with all but 13 years suspended, as well as a 4-year probation period with the following conditions: no use or possession of firearms, submit to random firearm searching, no use or possession of drugs unless prescribed marijuana, random searches and testing for drugs, and no contact with the family. Janeo is one of 5 men accused of killing and stealing drugs from 17-year-old Brandon Guerrero on November 4, 2021. Assistant Attorney General Leanne Zania described what happened in the days leading up to the attack. Janeo expressed remorse for what happened, but disagreed with the prosecutor's timeline of events.
That story that they got is it's not 100% true. You know, I'm not an evil person. I have kids of my own. I wish, you know, I'm not an evil person at all. I didn't want anything bad to happen to anybody. You know, I feel bad, you know, I feel bad.
The victim's mother claimed Janeo is not remorseful.
If you had some type of remorse, you would have called for assistance to help my son, because maybe there would have been a chance my son would have survived this. But you went away with all the rest of the monsters.
Janeo's sentencing date has not yet been determined. In Machias, Matthew Juronsik for ABC7 and Fox 22 News.
A judge set bail yesterday in the case of a Brewer man who prosecutors say allegedly kidnapped a woman in the Bangor Target parking lot over the weekend. 21-year-old Colby Cooper appeared before a judge via Zoom. Bangor police say at about 10 p.m. on Saturday, they received multiple calls regarding what appeared to be an abduction taking place in the Target store parking lot, with multiple witnesses reporting a man forcing a woman into a U-Haul rental van. Police say witnesses followed the van out of the lot and reported its location to police. Shortly after, officers spotted the van traveling southbound on Interstate 95, eventually stopping it on 395 eastbound near Exit 2. Cooper is charged with kidnapping, eluding an officer, criminal restraint, domestic violence assault, and failure to stop for an officer. Prosecutors say there is strong evidence in the case, including multiple witnesses, as well as video of the incident. Lawyers argued over whether Cooper should be granted bail.
If you'll note in the affidavit, when the victim asked if Mr. Cooper was going to be in trouble and she was told that he was arrested and what his charges were, she became hysterical. She was crying so hard she could hardly talk, and she was very concerned about how angry he was going to be. And that seems like a very legitimate concern. I mean, if this is what he is capable of in a public parking lot at Target over an argument about buying a Nintendo Switch, it seems that the stakes are much higher now.
I've reviewed the special conditions with Mr. Cooper, and he will follow those conditions as well as any additional conditions that the court believes is needed, including ankle monitoring, house arrest, curfew, whatever the court thinks is needed. His work and school, while he's not from here, we would argue are strong ties, and he has the intent and really is worried about losing his job and his position at school.
A judge set bail at $20,000 cash and ordered there be no contact whatsoever with the victim should he make bail, as well as other conditions. No plea was entered during the proceeding.
An argument over a parking spot ended with a man allegedly threatening to shoot people and a person being arrested in Bangor. Police say it all began when officers came upon a group of people who were arguing near the intersections of Cedar and 2nd Street yesterday. They say one of the first officers on the scene witnessed 31-year-old Kyle Regal of Bangor waving a handgun and threatening to shoot people. They were apparently arguing over a parking space. No one was seriously injured. Regal is now being charged with criminal threatening and assault.
A former Bangor resident is facing up to 20 years in prison for her role in drug trafficking in 2 counties. 27-year-old Shelby Loring pleaded guilty Tuesday to conspiracy to distribute and possession with the intent to distribute methamphetamine and fentanyl. According to court records, Loring and others trafficked methamphetamine and fentanyl in Penobscot and Aroostook counties between January of 2018 and December of 2021. Loring's participation in the conspiracy resulted in contacts with law enforcement that led to the seizure of drugs, firearms, drug paraphernalia, and other items. She will be sentenced at a later date.
In other news, legislators on both sides of the aisle are advocating for reforms within the Department of Health and Human Services amidst ongoing outrage surrounding the 2021 deaths of 4 children who were in the state's care. A.J. Douglas heard from lawmakers about what they have planned.
The children in Maine are not being kept safe. Our children are dying.
Tuesday, Senate Republicans addressed steps that are being taken to reform the Department of Health and Human Services following the recent release of the Maine Child Welfare OSMID annual report.
The response to this report by the department was really deflection and minimization.
The report is used to provide a neutral, objective assessment of concerns raised about the practices of DHHS. Senate Republicans are collectively calling for major changes.
It's time to separate the Department of Office and Child and Family Services from the Department of Health and Human Services and create 2 different departments that can more easily be overseen.
Senate Republicans say by separating DHHS and forming 2 different agencies, the legislator can enforce accountability, find the deeper problems, and establish resolutions. Legislators say foster parents tell them they rarely receive their DHHS support payments on time and suffer emotionally when children are reunified prematurely with biological parents.
We had a foster parent speak today, and they have some really good good solutions, because they work with it every day.
Health and Human Services Committee member Senator Marianne Moore says the department is currently working to take necessary steps to improve.
The department is working on it, but we're not there yet. We want them to expand that formal foundations training programs and reinstate supervisory training.
Those directly affected by the DHHS 2021 child deaths, such as foster parents, former case workers, along with the daycare workers and law enforcement, have united to advocate for reform within the department through a private nonprofit organization called Walk a Mile in Their Shoes. The organization's goal is to reduce, if not eliminate, child deaths within the DHHS system.
Maddox is my motivation for this, and other children like Maddox.
In Augusta, AJ Douglas, ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
Governor Mills and Democrats unveiled new legislation focusing on reinforcing abortion protections here in Maine. Legislators aim to strengthen protections for Maine health providers while offering services to those traveling to Maine from other states where abortion is banned. Other expansions would prevent local municipalities from restricting access to abortion care and would require insurance companies to cover abortion care.
There's still work we can do in Maine, and I'm really excited that Governor Mills and Speaker Talbot Ross and Senate President Jackson are moving forward with legislation, to ensure that it's accessible here, especially for people traveling from banned states, and also for our clinicians who are providing that care.
The decision to have an abortion.
According to a press release, House Republicans oppose what they call Governor Mills' extreme expansion of Maine's abortion laws, arguing that proposed expansions would be funded by taxpayers.
And the time now is 8:11. Coming up on Good Morning Maine, we'll talk with Senator Susan Collins about her appointment to the Senate Appropriations Committee.
But first, let's take another look at that forecast. Mostly cloudy in the sky today, high of a warm 40 degrees, dropping down to 23 tonight. The clouds are going to clear up. We're going to see mostly clear skies. Tomorrow, though, clouds are moving back in. The sun will shine through a bit, a high of 34 degrees.
Comfy, cozy, relaxing. Not Joe. Joe's Furniture. Joe's Furniture Warehouse in Newport is the place to find rockers, recliners, sofas, and easy chairs. Quality furniture, affordable prices. Not your average Joe. Joe's Furniture Warehouse, Grogan Avenue in Newport.
Toyota trains certified technicians. Is that important?
Well, you wouldn't hire just anyone to help you move, would you?
No.
Of course not.
Not again.
Get your Toyota ready for the year's coldest and harshest weather. See your New England Toyota dealer for great service offers to help keep your Toyota dependable and fuel efficient all winter long. Toyota Service Centers. Keep your Toyota a Toyota.
Looking for a new work experience? Fox and ABC Bangor are partnering with local employers to feature the best local job opportunities, like this one.
Bonham Masonry is currently hiring for general laborers and experienced masons. On-the-job training is available for those with no experience. We offer paid time off, travel pay, IRA, and health benefits. If interested in applying, please contact Dan Bonham at 323-5304.
Durable, sturdy, stylish. Not Joe. Joe's Furniture. Joe's Furniture Warehouse in Newport is the place to find solid wood, built to last, made in Maine dressers, bureaus, and nightstands. Not your average Joe. Joe's Furniture Warehouse, Grogan Avenue in Newport.
Harvey High is now in session. Today's subjects: biology.
Name an animal with the long neck.
Dinosaur, long neck, yeah.
Let me ask you something. When the last time you seen one?
Anatomy.
Name a part of Steve Harvey that a woman might want to kiss.
Your six-pack.
The six-pack? Does she know who Steve Harvey is? You got to dig for it, but it's in there.
Get schooled with Family Feud.
Weeknights at 7 on Fox 22.
Senator Susan Collins has been selected as the next vice chair of the Senate Appropriations Committee. It's the first time in more than 80 years that a Mainer will hold the position. Senator Collins stopped by our studio yesterday to talk about some of her priorities when she takes on the new role.
I'm joined now by Senator Susan Collins. Susan, thank you so much for joining us.
My pleasure.
And Susan, you are going to be the first Mainer in more than 80 years to be the vice chair of the Appropriations Committee. What does it mean to you to hold that position?
Well, I'm delighted to hold this position of power and influence. The Appropriations Committee has jurisdiction over the funding of most federal programs except the mandatory ones like Social Security. So it's an opportunity for me to do even more for the state of Maine and for our country.
Talking about securing money for Maine people, you recently helped to secure more than $300 million for the state of Maine in that spending bill that was passed in December. Can you tell me about some of the major projects that you're most excited about that money will be spent on?
There are so many needs in small communities all across the state. And to give you an example of a kind of project that I've supported, I secured $6 million that will help the town of Milo build a new public safety building and fire stations throughout the state, a police station upgrade in Caribou to replace a really old facility. There are also healthcare ones that I'm really proud of. One, for example, will help Acadia Hospital, which serves so many people throughout the state and their mental health needs, build an independent pediatric inpatient facility that is desperately needed.
And Senator Collins, can you tell me about some of your priorities as Vice Chair of the Appropriations Committee?
Let me just mention three in particular. One is biomedical research. I've particularly focused on tick-borne illnesses, Alzheimer's disease, and diabetes. Those are three areas where Maine is disproportionately affected because of the age of our population and our geography. A second would be rural development and workforce training. I try to fund programs at the University of Maine, at our community colleges, and at Hudson University that will help provide the employees that employers are desperately looking for. And third would be rural development is really important to me, having grown up in Aroostook County, and supporting our traditional industries, agriculture, fishing, and forest products. And I do have to add a fourth, and that is strengthening our national defense.
Fantastic. All right, well, Senator Collins, thank you so much for taking the time to answer all of our questions today.
Thank you.
And Senator Collins will officially become Vice Chair when the Senate reconvenes next week. Well, meanwhile, peer-to-peer recovery helps those recovering from addiction in the Katahdin region, and they're getting a big boost for their mission. They're receiving a $500,000 grant from the federal government to help purchase and do repairs on a building up in Medway. Those involved with the organization say they hope to create a safe space that facilitates even more recovery.
We're going to be able to offer more meetings, more community gatherings. We have all sorts of different types of therapies available. So having this space in a tip-top working condition is really important.
Peer-to-peer is open to anyone trying to recover from addiction. There are recovery coaches that can help find resources to achieve goals like getting into school, getting a GED, or even helping to find resources for housing. You can get more information by calling them at 447-9500. Again, their number is 447-9500. Senator Angus King also dropping by to see all the good work going on up there. I believe he was one of the ones instrumental in securing some of that federal funding for the project.
Absolutely. I know we're seeing a lot of institutions like theirs get grant funding and federal funding because they're filling such a much needed hole in our community.
Big problem with the drugs throughout the area.
Right, and people need help, so it's good. The time is now 8:19. After the break, we'll hear about the food drive in Knox County that was forced to postpone during the storm.
Plus an update in the case regarding the missing Massachusetts mother. We'll be right back with the details of these stories and more as Good Morning Maine continues.
Family owned and operating in the Bangor area for more than 10 years. Crosby's Welding is here to help you. We specialize in steel, stainless steel, and aluminum welding and fabrication. We serve many of the local industries from Maine lobstermen to the commercial trucking industry and everything in between. Fully mobile on-site construction services right down to custom signs and fire pits. Fast, friendly, reliable service. Give us a call today for a free estimate, 974-7815.
There's some things that go better together, like your workplace benefits and retirement savings. With Voya, considering all your financial choices together can help you be better prepared for unexpected events.
Voya, well planned, well invested, well protected.
Hood is the cottage cheese lovers love. Start with our award-winning country style. It's delicious on its own, or like this. That. Even, sure. Plus, it's got more protein than hummus and less sugar than yogurt. Then there's Hood's flavors. We expertly blend in real fruit or savory herbs for an unbeatable taste combination you can't recreate at home. Now that's cottage cheese. Hood cottage cheese. Always good, always Hood.
With AARP Rewards, anyone can earn and redeem points. They're ready for you.
That's 300 points.
And help their money live longer. Get started for free today.
Create the perfect spaces in your home for 2023 at the Furniture Gallery. Entertain in style this year with a new dining set. Have room for everyone on movie nights with a big sectional with extra seating. Feel more rested with a new mattress from Serta, Restonic, or Nectar from the Furniture Gallery. Kick back and save an extra 10% on our entire recliner selection and save up to 70% off clearance items. Support our main family-owned business and save money. The Furniture Gallery in Augusta, Bangor, Gorham, Newport, and North Windham.
Welcome back to Good Morning Maine. I'm Emma Smith. An annual food drive and fundraiser needs help meeting its goal after Monday's storm forced the event to cancel. David Ledford has the story.
The Fill the Strand event in Rockland normally takes place on Martin Luther King Jr. Day. For the past 3 years, the Strand Theater has partnered with Area Interfaith Outreach to collect food for families in need and fill all 350 seats in the theater with a 10-pound bag of food. However, organizers say that this year's cancellation will make it more difficult for the nonprofits to fill the seats and reach their $25,000 goal. According to Joe Ryan, the executive director of Area Interfaith Outreach, collecting donations is essential to their goal of feeding the community.
This event is one of the largest events that we have of the year that helps us sustain our food supply. The money that they give is making a substantial impact for many families.
Ryan says Area Interfaith Outreach serves all of Knox County. Hungry families are allowed to come into the AIO market and shop for food like they would in a grocery store, except everything they put into their carts is free of charge. Ryan says that this is only possible with support from donors. According to Liz McLeod, house manager at the Strand Theater, food insecurity is a significant problem in the Knox County area, which is only worsened by the costs that come with Maine's winter months.
We all need to come together and work together where we can to reach parts of the community that haven't been reached. I know people who are hungry. I know people personally who have to decide whether they're going to pay their rent or eat. And that's no way to live.
In Rockland, David Ledford for ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
To support Hungry Mainers, donors can purchase a $25 seat sponsorship in place of a bag of food at aiofoodpantry.org/strand or donate food directly to the Area Interfaith Outreach at 1A Gordon Drive in Rockland. And of course, if you need a repeat of that information, head to foxbangor.com for this story.
Yeah, what a great organization. The need is so great around the area. I like what they're doing there. I like the little supermarket setup too.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
And I'm sure it may be a little harder to do that because they have to keep certain items on the shelves. So maybe that's why they're specifically asking for cash donations.
They need some help.
Absolutely.
So, well, the time now is 8:24.
Let's get a full look at that forecast. Meteorologist Evan Biggs is in.
And thank you very much, Craig and Emma. Your full weather forecast brought to you by Boosted Auto and Diesel. For all your automotive, heavy truck, and equipment needs, call Ronnie at 207-659-9458. All right, let's get things rolling out there this morning. We do have a few snow showers that have been falling in a few spots, so some of this may not be hitting the ground either, what we call virga, so you might be noticing some of this, but others not so much. So we'll keep this rolling for a little while today, maybe a little bit more snow further off towards the north. Any potential for accumulation is going to be in the northern ends of the state. Everyone else, not so much. You'll just notice the snow, and that'll be about it. Here's that low pressure moving away from us now. Here's our next little system here moving in from the west, going toward the east, kind of helping to give us some of that action this morning. morning. So once we get towards the evening period, things will really begin to clear out later on tonight. So futurecast moving forward looks a little bit like this. So going to be watching out for a mostly cloudy sky for us today, maybe some snow further off towards the north. That's going to be kind of the general idea that we'll be watching out for, maybe even a few breaks in the clouds by later on this evening. Otherwise, though, look at this, becoming mostly clear later on tonight, so not too bad at all. Things will begin to calm down pretty quickly. Then really as we head towards your Thursday, we'll be watching out for more clouds that will begin to approach, especially going from the west to the east. Snow moves in. Here we go again. Friday morning, more snow moving in ahead of our next system that will begin to approach. Any snow accumulations today, nothing too ridiculous at all, mainly further off towards the north. We'll be watching for maybe a little bit of accumulations, but further down toward the south, nothing too ridiculous to get too worried about. Wave heights looks a little bit like this. 3 to 4 foot wave heights at this point, mainly up to 7 feet farther out towards sea. So really have to look further out towards the ocean. The notice anything, any small craft advisories will be dropped this morning, so nothing to get too worried about in that department either. Our average high temperature for this time of the year is 28 degrees. We'll reach for the lower 40s today, 34 degrees for your Thursday, lower 30s Friday into Saturday, then middle to upper 30s again as we head towards Sunday and also into your Monday, and Tuesday back down to around 31 degrees. Your forecast for today, 40 degrees, mostly cloudy with a few snow showers on the way. That west wind getting up to about 5 to 10 miles per hour. Later on tonight, 23 degrees, becoming mostly clear. The northwest wind at about 5 to 10 miles per hour. Alrighty, a boosted auto and diesel extended forecast. Let's break this down. So overnight Thursday, partly cloudy, highs in the mid-30s. Overnight Thursday night into Friday, more snow will be on the way yet again. This one looks to accumulate with a few inches on the way, so we'll have to keep an eye on that as it does move closer. And Thursday night into Friday, maybe lingering in the parts of Friday night. We'll have to watch for this before it starts to clear out early Friday evening. Then for the weekend, we'll be looking pretty good. Mostly sunny Saturday, highs in the low 30s. Mid-30s Sunday with a mostly cloudy sky.
Finding the right vehicle for you and your family can be a daunting task. At Varney Buick GMC, our expert staff is here to make the journey as painless as possible. Our goal is to get you and your family in a vehicle that will best fit into your lifestyle. Communication is key, and our team makes sure to be completely transparent throughout the process, informing you on all of your options. Come experience Varney value, only at Varney Buick GMC.
Pond Hill Farms in Brooks, Maine offers 100% grass-fed beef in a variety of ways. Choose between individual cuts that are state inspected and ready to pop in your fridge or freezer. If you're looking to stock up, Pond Hill Farms offer the option to purchase hanging weight by quarter, half, or whole. We also offer live cattle if you're looking to grow your own herd. Pond Hill Farms also offer rental cottages with spectacular views of the farm and the Maine outdoors. Whether you're looking for fresh Maine meat or a gorgeous place to vacation, Pond Hill Farms is the place to be.
Toyota's all-wheel drive vehicles not only conquer the elements, Toyota conquers its competitors by sheer selection. You see, Toyota has 20 different all-wheel drive or four-wheel drive models. That's more than Subaru, more than Honda, more than Jeep. Conquer most anything with a tough Tacoma 4x4, the best-selling midsize pickup for 17 years, and named best truck among midsize pickups. See your New England Toyota dealer, your all-wheel drive headquarters. Toyota, let's go places.
It's high school basketball season, and ABC7 and Fox 22 are here to keep you up to date with your local scores and highlights during Friday Night Fast Break. Get out and support your hometown teams and look for our sports crew to get your own free Friday Night Fast Break t-shirt courtesy of
Coastal Auto Parts, Gracie's Aunt's Emporium, Katahdin Federal Credit Union, Katahdin General Store LLC, Katahdin Hardware and Appliance, and Maine Heritage Timber.
Welcome back to Good Morning Maine, and now for your national news. 17 people, including Ukraine's interior minister, were killed this morning when a helicopter crashed near a nursery outside of Kyiv. 9 people in the helicopter, including senior ministry officials and 4 children, are also among the victims. Ukraine's state emergency service said 25 people were injured, including 11 children, when the helicopter came down in a residential area. Several dead bodies draped in foil blankets lay in a courtyard near the damaged nursery. There was no immediate word on whether the morning crash, reportedly in heavy fog, was an accident or related to the war, but Ukrainian authorities immediately opened an investigation. No fighting has been reported recently in the Kyiv area. Early official reports gave slightly different casualty figures, including a higher death toll.
Well, Brian Walsh is now facing murder charges in the case of his missing wife, Anna Walsh. Prosecutors not revealing a lot about what led to that charge, but a spokesperson for the DA's office says he's also being charged with improper transport of a body. Fox's Brian Yennis is in Quincy, Massachusetts with the latest.
A major development in the investigation into missing Cohasset, Massachusetts mom, Anna Walsh.
The continued investigation has now allowed police to obtain an arrest warrant charging Brian Walsh with the murder of his wife.
The announcement coming a little more than 2 weeks after Anna was last seen. Her husband, Brian, has been in police custody for about a week. The 47-year-old held on $500,000 bail after he pleaded not guilty to charges he misled police investigators.
And while it's horrifying and I'm full of rage, and at the same time relief because one step closer to figuring out what happened to her.
We learned at Brian's previous hearing, investigators found a bloody knife in the couple's basement, and officials telling Fox Brian's search history included how to dispose of a woman's body. The district attorney being tight-lipped about the evidence that led to the murder charge. The 39-year-old mother of 3 was last seen at her home on New Year's Day. Days later, she was first reported missing by the Washington, D.C. real estate firm where she worked, not by her husband. Meanwhile, the Walsh's 3 young boys, ages 2, 4, and 6, are in state custody. Anna's friends working to ensure the kids stay together.
I do know that they're still in state custody, which is great. That means they're together. Just praying for these boys.
Details of what exactly led authorities to charge Brian Walsh with Anna's murder are expected to be revealed when he is arraigned on Wednesday. In Quincy, Massachusetts, Brian Yennis, Fox News.
President Biden is facing new questions over the classified documents from his time as vice president, discovered at his home and office. Over the weekend, the president's lawyers revealed more documents were found at Biden's Delaware home, and new details this morning that the FBI almost played a role in searching that residence. All as the White House is blasting Republicans for what it calls hypocrisy over their condemnations of the president. ABC's Jay O'Brien has the latest.
This morning, new revelations that the Department of Justice considered sending FBI agents to President Biden's Delaware home to monitor the search for classified documents. Sources familiar with the matter tell ABC News because the Biden team was fully cooperating with the government, the DOJ ultimately agreed to back off and let Biden's lawyers carry out their own searches in November. President Biden largely staying silent on the latest batch of classified documents found in his private home, including 5 the White House revealed were discovered last Thursday. The administration now under fire for not disclosing that information until the weekend.
I have been forthcoming from this podium.
And Ian Sams, spokesperson for the White House counsel's office, telling reporters, while we're limited in what we can say during an ongoing DOJ inquiry, we are providing as much information publicly as is appropriate. House Republicans now launching 2 separate congressional inquiries into the documents, accusing the administration of waiting months to tell the American people about their discovery.
This is why there's such hypocrisy behind the Bidens, once again, something big that comes forward prior to an election where they kind of keep it quiet, where the American public could actually have a say in it.
But the White House hitting back, blasting Republicans for what they call hypocrisy, noting that they had little interest in investigating the reams of classified documents seized by the FBI at former President Donald Trump's Mar-a-Lago estate. Now, in addition to those congressional investigations, there's also a special counsel looking into these documents. The White House has said it will cooperate fully with the special counsel, but it's unclear what their level of cooperation will be with those Republican-led probes in the House.
That was Jay O'Brien reporting.
Still to come here in the second half of our show, we'll hear about a permit request for a unicorn in Hancock County.
That and more as Good Morning Maine continues.
It's high school basketball season, and ABC 7 and Fox 22 are here to keep you up to date with your local scores and highlights during Friday Night Fast Break. Get out and support your hometown teams and look for our sports crew to get your own free Friday Night Fast Break t-shirt courtesy of
Arts Service Center, Coach House Restaurant, Coastal Auto Parts, Newport Glass LLC, the Bangor UPS Store, and the Farmer's Table.
You're watching Fox 22, Bangor.
Welcome back, everyone. Today is Wednesday, January 18th, 2023. It's also National Gourmet Coffee Day, as well as National Thesaurus Day.
You can always benefit from a thesaurus. I know I said this last hour, but I'm just realizing more and more how my adjectives really need to get upped.
Yeah.
I'm using cool a lot. I'm using amazing a lot. I'm using absolutely regularly.
Too much, yeah. Yeah, it's good to kind of expand your vocabulary and think about how we say things. You know?
My gosh, yeah. I just have some go-to words.
Yeah, and
awesome,
if you get
cool,
tired, have some gourmet coffee, and it will get you through the hump.
Right, right. Those two pairings are lovely.
Yeah.
Well, on this day in history, in 1951, the lie detector test was first used in the Netherlands. Maybe not something, if you have to take one of those, maybe don't drink a lot of coffee before that.
Probably not.
It's known as the polygraph test. And in 1966, Robert C. Weaver was confirmed as the first black U.S. presidential cabinet member. And on this day in 1993, Martin Luther King Jr. was decidedly memorialized by a federal holiday in all the states for the first time.
For birthdays today, we have actor Cary Grant, whose career spanned from the 1930s to the 60s and is known for films like The Awful Truth, North by Northwest, and Bringing Up Baby. And it's also been known as one of the best actors Hollywood has ever seen, with his transatlantic accent, typical of the era, and his classic appearance. He was a real man's man, or at least what you were supposed to be for a man's man back then.
I know. Writing that up this morning, I was like, oh, okay, these have Katharine Hepburn in them. I know her. I don't know him, though, so I'm putting them in my film list.
Yeah, he was still quite popular when I was a kid.
Yeah,
so, anyway.
I believe it.
And it's also Kevin Costner's birthday, who's known especially for films like Dancing with Wolves, Wyatt Earp, and The Untouchables. Field of Dreams was one of those big ones, of course. And
I know. I only put in the ones I've seen, which is not fair.
Yeah.
But
he's a fantastic actor.
Absolutely.
Really enjoying him in Yellowstone as of late.
Right.
So,
I haven't started that yet, but that's been
I
a
read
big
something
deal.
like he makes like $1 million per episode or something like that. And I could be wrong.
I believe
just
that
remember reading that
people
somewhere.
love that show.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yep.
Good,
Check it
good
out.
for him.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, as far as the weather goes today, it seems like we'll get some melt. It's pretty warm out, but it's still quite gray. The sun may peek out tomorrow.
Yeah, it looks like things will warm up today, and tomorrow won't be too bad either, and then we'll have a chance for a little bit of more snow tomorrow night. Not a big storm, but enough to kind of maybe mess up the roads on Friday morning when we're heading in.
Good point. Here's Devin Biggs.
And thank you very much, Craig and Emma. Happy Wednesday. Your first weather forecast brought to you by Boosted Auto and Diesel. For all your automotive, heavy truck, and equipment needs, call Ronnie at 207-659-9458. All right, let's get things rolling out there this morning. Maybe a few snow showers falling for a few of you this morning. Nothing to get too worried about, though. Anything that does fall will not really accumulate to much of anything, so you'll just know there's a snow flying around, and that'll be about it. We might notice a little bit more further off towards the north and the northern ends of the state, but that'll be about all. Here's the big picture. Low pressure is tracking out towards sea now. This is kind of the back edge of that area of low pressure now. So we'll be watching this today, but this will begin to clear up later on tonight as the sky becomes mostly clear. So futurecast for today, there's some snow in the northern ends of the state we'll have to watch out for, but otherwise becoming mostly clear later on tonight. So we'll start getting the clouds out of here pretty quickly. As for the winds, not a huge deal at the moment, mainly at around 5 to 10 miles per hour, but really increasing later on tonight and in the daytime tomorrow briefly. But notice by Thursday afternoon, the winds will start to back off. Your forecast for today, 40 degrees, mostly cloudy, a few snow showers, no accumulations to worry about. That west wind at about 5 to 10 miles per hour. Later on tonight, 23 degrees, becoming mostly clear. The northwest wind getting up to about 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tomorrow, 34 degrees, becoming partly cloudy. Northwest wind 5 to 10 miles per hour. Hourly forecast for the rest of the morning and afternoon period. Overall, mostly cloudy, temperatures in the 30s and 40s. Your full 5-day forecast is coming up. Craig and Emma?
A 5-year-old girl from Lemoyne is dreaming big and making history at the same time. Brielle Hamer sent a letter to the Board of Selectmen requesting a permit application for a pet unicorn. And as Jody Hersey tells us, it's the first time the town has received a request for such a magical pet.
She said to me today that her 2 of her big dreams are coming true. She gets to apply for a unicorn and she gets to be on TV.
5-year-old Brielle Hamer is working hard to make her wish come true. She recently sent her request for an application for a pet unicorn to the Lemoyne town office. Stu Marcoon is the town administrator and interim animal control officer.
Well, we really don't have any ordinances for or against unicorns, and she had asked to enclose an application. So I quickly made up an application on the computer for her.
Brielle recently received that application along with a letter. And were there any rules or anything that you had to follow?
I had to have a house for the unicorn to live in, plenty of rainbows for it to eat, and that's really all I needed, right?
Brielle and her family will be attending this Thursday night select board meeting to see if her application has been approved, and if so, her family is ready for their new addition.
I hear, though, they're invisible, so, we could fit an invisible unicorn in our barn.
And in case you were wondering, Brielle has already picked out a name for her pet unicorn.
Yes, it's Luna.
In Lemoyne, I'm Jody Hersey for ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
She's got plenty of rainbows to feed it. She's
I'm
a
happy
place
you
to put
noticed
it.
that too. I didn't know that was their diet.
Yeah, I didn't know that either.
Okay, good. She's prepared.
Yeah, good for her.
If anybody's going to have a pet unicorn, she's the most prepared of them all.
I want to come visit it when she gets the unicorn.
Yes, absolutely. I'll ask that as well. When we return, Tyler Cruz and Ryan Sudol will have your sports updates.
Don't go away.
Silver Fox Automotive is a family-owned and operated company with more than 30 years of experience. We are originally from the county and offer competitive prices and promise you will be completely satisfied with our work. We offer a stress-free experience to both our new and returning customers. We only use parts from reputable brands to ensure your vehicle is safe to drive. Here at Silver Fox, there will always be a friendly face to greet you. Come see us at 2004 Audlin Road in Herman.
Where will your new Chevy take you this year? Anywhere. Find new experiences, find new roads. Current qualified lessees can get this Equinox for $269 a month, or get $1,750 total cash allowance on all 2023 Equinox models.
When Booth Electric and United Energy want to know the local forecast, they log on to foxbangor.com. Stay in your comfort zone with Booth Electric and United Energy, Maine's trusted heat pump and electrical company.
It's high school basketball season, and ABC 7 and Fox 22 are here to keep you up to date with your local scores and highlights during Friday Night Fast Break. Get out and support your hometown teams and look for our sports crew to get your own free Friday Night Fast Break t-shirt courtesy of
Drinkwater's Cash Fuel, Gateway Title of Maine, Lincoln Color Center, Overhead Door Company of Bangor, Rowell's Garage and Car Wash, and Vale's Cakes.
4 Special Forces operatives push 16 celebrities to the limit.
They've entered our world. They will play by our rules.
Special Forces World's Toughest Test, tonight on Fox.
Welcome back in, everyone. Thank you for staying with us. Well, Patriot season is over. The Celtics and the Bruins are in mid-season form. March is right around the corner, so it's just about time to get out on the diamond, right? And for Maine softball, they officially kicked off practice on Tuesday with the grand opening of their brand new facility right on the horizon. Ryan Sudol has more.
Behind me is Maine Black Bears softball's new diamond, the first step in the school's athletic facility master plan. And the team hopes it's also the beginning of a new era of success.
We are very grateful for the opportunity, and we're going to work really hard to be the best to kind of
paid off, I guess.
You know, I think that's part of the pressure, right, is the ability to show off our new field, but also to show off, you know, how much better we've gotten as a team.
And the new field is also a source of optimism for further into the future. Many recruits have facilities as a top priority.
That was something that I know I looked for in my recruiting process, and I know that the recruits will see it as the school that you're coming to being invested in your program, and that's always a good feeling.
And recruits will certainly be drawn to the features of the Diamond, including all-around turf and lights, both rarities in the America East Conference.
You know, both those things allow us to get out on the field sooner than previously. I know in the past, if anybody's followed us, we play a lot of away games, and so it's going to be really exciting to have more of a home crowd and to be at home more often.
All things considered, softball is not the most popular sport at UMaine. The decision to put them first in the plan may draw controversy, but they want everyone to know how much they truly deserve it.
We've been playing with things not on our side for a long time now, and whether everybody agrees with it or not, I think that we are deserving. We've been busting our butts for a long time now.
And despite losing 8 players in the offseason, the team believes that hard work can lead to making some noise.
I think this is a season we could really make a run at it. I think we have a really special team, and I'm excited for other people to see that as well. So hopefully when we play this year, that'll come out.
In Orono, I'm Ryan Sudol, ABC 7, Fox 22 Sports.
Thanks for that, Ryan. Looking forward to see what they can do this spring and this spring. We will move to some high school sports now, and we will head to Ellsworth, where junior guard Chance Mercier is 6 points away from 1,000. It was a packed house down east in Ellsworth as the Eagles took on the Foxcroft Ponies. Foxcroft, dark horse in Class B. And here's the moment they were all waiting for. Chance Mercier, a fadeaway from the foul line, and there it is. 1,000 points for the junior, I'm repeating that, and he wasn't done on the night. Second quarter, he's going to go all the way from one basket to the other, coast to coast for the layup. Eagles were up 9 at the half. This is a close one here for Ellsworth. Fourth quarter now, Ponies trying to cut it close. Caden Crocker, a nice step back three here off the glass. He banks it home, but the Eagles proved to be too much when it came down to winning time. Here is Mercier again, taking it down the court, and the alley-oop to Peter Kablinski. Eagles win it 72-62, and here's Mercier on his record-breaking night.
You know, it's really emotional, nervous. You know, you work so hard for your dream, and it's just, you think it's a dream, right? Like, you're a child, and you don't think you're going to accomplish this, but when you really work, you will.
Back in Bangor now, Rams hosting the Riverhawks of Skowhegan. Skowhegan looking to move to 7-4. Bangor looking for win number 3. First quarter off the tip. Riverhawks strike first. Kyle LePage, quick pass to Braden Saucier. He said, give me all 3 of those from the corner. And then look at Caden Thomas here, fighting for the rebound, doing all of the dirty work and getting 2 with the left. Here's Bangor again. This time it's Ryan Ford. Pull up from mid-range. Nothing mid about that. 2 for the junior. But Skowhegan was all over it. Adam Fitzgerald this time, he cashes in on the triple. The freshman making it rain there. And then on defense, it's Colin LePage with the stuff, and that's going to turn into some points. Patrick McKenney takes it all the way himself. Riverhawks win 53-39. All right, let's look at some other scores from around the area. Bangor girls over Skowhegan, 64-42. Dexter girls taking a win. They stay perfect with a close one over Mattanockhook, 41-34. Nokomis boys win one over Mount Blue, 63-60. Then Orono boys with a close win, 51-42 over John Baptist. All right, let's move on to some football. And same as last year, really, we all could have just watched Tom Brady's final game in the NFL on Monday, and probably one of his worst playoff appearances, dare I say, ever. Brady was shut out in the first half of a playoff game for the first time since his first ever playoff game. He did throw the ball 66 times, which has to be a record of some sorts, for over 300 yards and 2 touchdowns. So he showed he can still play in the league, but his contract with Tampa Bay has expired. So at 45 years old, that leaves us with 2 questions. Will Brady play in 2023? And if so, where right now? And if so, where? Right now for him, stop me if you've heard this, it's all day by day.
What is your process from here when you start to think about what you want to do next? Because obviously it's going to be huge speculation.
I'm going to go home and get a good night's sleep as good as I can tonight. And no, I'm not, this has been a lot of focus on, this game. So, yeah, let's just be one day at a time, truly.
I, too, could use a good night's sleep. His mattress might be worth a little bit more than mine. That's all the time we have for sports. We'll be right back after the break.
Hello, Maine. This is Steve McKay. It's a wintry mix out there, but pockets of orange are standing out against the white blanket of snow throughout the state. Next Home Experience is listing and selling homes just like yours. Get looped and get sold with Next Home Experience.
Family owned and operating in the Bangor area for more than 10 years. Crosby's Welding is here to help you. We specialize in steel, stainless steel, and aluminum welding and fabrication. We serve many of the local industries from Maine lobstermen to the commercial trucking industry and everything in between. Fully mobile on-site construction services right down to custom signs and fire pits. Fast, friendly, reliable service. Give us a call today for a free estimate, 974-7815.
Toyota's all-wheel drive vehicles not only conquer the elements, Toyota conquers its competitors by sheer selection. You see, Toyota has 20 different all-wheel drive or four-wheel drive models. That's more than Subaru, more than Honda, more than Jeep. Conquer most anything with the adventure-seeking all-wheel drive RAV4 or the powerful all-wheel drive RAV4 Hybrid, both with Toyota Safety Sense technology included. See your New England Toyota dealer, your all-wheel drive headquarters. Toyota, let's go places.
It's high school basketball season, and ABC 7 and Fox 22 are here to keep you up to date with your local scores and highlights during Friday Night Fast Break. Get out and support your hometown teams and look for our sports crew to get your own free Friday Night Fast Break t-shirt courtesy of
Color Concepts, Kings Mountain RC, Loring Job Corps, Mad Cat and Company Bar and Grill, Maine Collision Center, and Twin City Tile.
Looking for your dream home? Contact a Next Homie today and see what's available right now. Sellers, get ready to get looped and get sold. With Next Home Experience, we have your buyers.
Animals receive a special blessing during the Feast of St. Anthony of Abad in Spain. Cats and dogs were blessed outside a church in Madrid Tuesday in observance with the annual tradition for Spain's patron saint of animals. A priest sprinkled holy water on the animals, who braved the bitter cold, but the animals appeared to enjoy the attention. This practice is meant to bestow good health and protection for the cats and dogs in the new year. Their furry friends were also allowed to go inside the church with their owners to celebrate a special mass yesterday.
Patron saint of animals.
There you
I love
go.
that.
It looks like the dogs just enjoyed the attention they were
enjoyed
getting.
the attention.
So, yeah.
The priests had a day to get their animal time in. That's good for everybody. Wicked sweet. Hey, here's meteorologist Evan Biggs with our full forecast.
And thank you very much, Craig and Emma. Your full weather forecast brought to you by Boosted Auto and Diesel. For all your automotive, heavy truck, and equipment needs, call Ronnie at 207-659-9458. All right, let's get things rolling out there this morning. We do have a few snow showers that have been falling in a few spots, so some of this may not be hitting the ground either, what we call virga, so you might be noticing some of this, while others not so much. So we'll keep this rolling for a little while today, maybe a little bit more snow further off towards the north. Any potential for accumulation is going to be in the northern ends of the state. Everyone else, not so much. You'll just notice the snow, and that'll be about it. Here's that low pressure moving away from us now. Here's our next little system here moving in from the west, going toward the east, kind of helping to give us some of that action this morning. So once we get towards the evening period, things will really begin to clear out later on tonight. So futurecast moving forward looks a little bit like this. So going to be watching out for a mostly cloudy sky for us today, maybe some snow further off towards the north. That's going to be kind of the general idea that we'll be watching out for, maybe even a few breaks in the clouds by later on this evening. Otherwise, though, look at this, becoming mostly clear later on tonight, so not too bad at all. Things will begin to calm down pretty quickly. Then really, as we head towards your Thursday, we'll be watching out for more clouds that will begin to approach, especially going from the west to the east. Snow moves in. Here we go again. Friday morning, more snow moving in ahead of our next system that will begin to approach. Any snow accumulations today, nothing too ridiculous at all, mainly further off towards the north. We'll be watching for maybe a little bit of accumulations, but further down toward the south, nothing too ridiculous to get too worried about. Wave heights looks a little bit like this. 3 to 4 foot wave heights at this point, mainly up to 7 feet further out towards sea. So really have to look further out towards the ocean to notice anything. Any small craft advisories will be dropped this morning, so nothing to get too worried about in that department either. Our average high temperature for this time of the year is 28 degrees. We'll reach for the lower 40s today. 34 degrees for your Thursday, lower 30s Friday into Saturday. The middle to upper 30s again as we we head towards Sunday and also into your Monday. Then Tuesday back down to around 31 degrees. Your forecast for today, 40 degrees, mostly cloudy with a few snow showers on the way. That west wind getting up to about 5 to 10 miles per hour. Later on tonight, 23 degrees, becoming mostly clear. The northwest wind at about 5 to 10 miles per hour. Alrighty, a boosted auto and diesel extended forecast. Let's break this down. So overnight Thursday, partly cloudy, highs in the mid-30s. Overnight Thursday night into Friday, more snow will be on the way yet again. This one looks to accumulate with a few inches on the way, so we'll have to keep an eye on that as it does move closer. Again, Thursday night into Friday, maybe lingering in the parts of Friday night. We'll have to watch for this before it starts to clear out early Friday evening. Then for the weekend, we'll be looking pretty good. Mostly sunny Saturday, highs in the low 30s. Mid-30s Sunday with a mostly cloudy sky.
It's your journey. Own every mile in the Hyundai Elantra. Lease a 2023 Hyundai Elantra for $239 a month or get 2.9% APR for 48 months. See your Bangor Hyundai dealer.
There are some things that go better together. Hey, like your workplace benefits and retirement savings. With Voya, considering all your financial choices together can help you be better prepared for unexpected events for a brighter financial future. Thanks.
Ah, pretzel and mustard. Another great combo. Voya. Well planned, well invested, well protected.
This is a test of the emergency alert system. This has been a test of the emergency alert system. Equipment that can quickly warn you has been tested. If this had been an actual emergency, official messages would have followed the alert tone. This station serves the East Central Maine area. This concludes this test.
One good guess.
Cursed romance. Star-crossed lovers.
You better work! Deserves another.
Egyptian writing.
Hieroglyphics.
Wow! I felt like the person shouting wrong answers at the study group.
And another.
Opposite water? Sand.
25 words or less.
You did it again. You're going home with another $10,000.
Weekdays at 9 on Fox 22.
Welcome back to Good Morning Maine on Fox 22. Doctors are reminding us to get more vitamin D this month, especially here in Maine. Vitamin D is a nutrient your body needs for building and maintaining healthy bones, because your body can only absorb calcium when vitamin D is present. It also has anti-inflammatory and antioxidant properties that support immune health, among many other things. In the winter, it's common to become vitamin D deficient because it's something we can gain from regular sunlight exposure. So certain foods are high in vitamin D, like milk, some types of fish and sardines, like sardines and salmon, and even mushrooms. If taking a supplement, that's the easy way, I do that. You can especially increase your absorption if you consume it during your heaviest meal, such as dinner. Watch for signs of vitamin D deficiency like fatigue, bone pain, muscle weakness, and mood changes.
So maybe incorporate a little more milk and that sort of thing
Right.
into your diet.
I definitely noticed the change. I need to keep taking the supplements.
Yeah, ice cream works too.
Good call.
Vitamin D
And there's dopamine in ice cream.
There you go.
or something like that.
Always trying to help folks. Chinese travelers headed abroad streamed into the Beijing capital airport today. They're traveling ahead of the Lunar New Year holiday after officials ended 3 years of the world's toughest COVID restrictions. National immigration officials said on average 500,000 people have been moving in or out of China every day since the borders were open last month. The travel is expected to peak on Friday ahead of the Lunar New Year holiday, which is also known as the Spring Festival. I like the sound of that.
Yeah. And 2023 and the Lunar New Year is the year of the rabbit. Very cool. Very cool. Well, 6 minutes of high-intensity exercise can delay the start of brain diseases. A new study published in the Journal of